Loose Lot for the Ring magazine. Delighted today to be joined with Josh Kelly here in Surrey. Josh, always good to see you, mate. Yeah, how have you been keeping? How's things?
Good, mate. These are fancy, aren't they?
Yeah, I know, mate. I know. That's what we do, mate. That's what we
fancy,
do. Callum was saying the same thing. He was like saying about doing bicep curls with him. I don't think.
Mate, they just, I don't know. I've never seen mics like this, but step the game up. I like it.
Got to bring the best out for the pretty one. You know what I mean?
Come on.
But yeah, just ticking over now. Yeah, back in the gym. Sort of enjoying being back in the gym and just ticking over, I guess.
Yeah, mate. I'm ready to get a date and get something in. Do you know what I mean? And get the focus. It's nice ticking over, but when you get that date and the focus, changes. Everything changes.
Yeah, that's what I think. You know, we were speaking about it, like that change in mentality in a sense, like. But as we say, like, you feel like sort of as you've got older, you've matured, like you treat sort of being out of camp differently. Still, the training's still sort of that mentality is almost a bit different, as you say.
Yeah, 100%. When you're younger, you're just a little bit carefree, aren't you? But now, when you're older, you know things don't last forever. So you need to take care of them. So especially your body.
Yeah, do you feel like now you are entering that sort of that peak years of your career in a sense? Especially like, do you feel that in your body, like especially from when you were younger?
I feel stronger, mentally stronger, spiritually a different person. Like, if hindsight, innit? Everything's hindsight. If I could go back and give myself, my younger self, the things I've got now, I think I'd already be world champion by now. But like, obviously, you got to learn the lessons. You got to do what you got to do to get where you got to get. And I'm here now, so why not push on and have a go now? Yeah,
is that the interesting thing? Because I'm sure you would have felt like, look, 5 years ago, you feel like that this was the best I'll be, and this, and probably sort of as years go on, you feel like the best. And do you feel like you see that gradual progress, like it always getting better in a sense?
I think now I'm definitely in my prime now. I think these are my prime years. I think now for at least. I think, at least I think it's maximum 3 years I'll be as strong and fit as I am now, and sharp and mature. And then after that, I'm mature. Well, I can't really predict that, but I know for a few years I'm going to be feeling like this. So I think now's the time to capitalise and take these fights I need to take.
Yeah, how much are you itching to be in them big fights? Because you can't force people to fight. I know there was a lot of talk of domestic opponents, etc. But do you feel like now there is that itch to get more than ever? Now, as you say, you feel like you're in the best shape that you've been in. That look, I just want to prove it in the ring.
Well, mate, it's the politics of boxing's mad. You get down to it, really. It's mad. It's like to make a fight, it's not just straightforward to make a fight. And I heard Turki Al-Sheikh saying he can't get no one to fight Murtazaliev.
Yeah.
Listen, we were. I'm sure. Listen, I'm not going to say anything. I'm saying, listen, get your guy to fight me, right? I'll fight Murtazaliev. I'll fight him, no problem. Yeah. And about Tom and Jerry fights and all this stuff, it's like stars make fights. If there weren't the great Cassius Clays, if there weren't the great Sugar Ray Leonards or Willie Peps or Ray Robinson, any of them guys, there wouldn't be any stars. It would just be everyone standing in the centre of the ring. So this Tom and Jerry fighter, we'll go in there and he'll beat Murtazaliev, stand him on his head. So let's make that fight, because I heard Turki talking on the Boxing Voice, and he said he couldn't get no one to fight him, and he offered 3 opponents and everyone's scared of that. Listen, we put our name in for that fight and we haven't heard nothing back. So let's see where put your money where your mouth is, and I'm here. Yeah. I'll take Murtazaliev. Put your guy against me. Come on.
That's what I say. I guess we'll jump straight into it. You know, I spoke to obviously your trainer Adam Booth about that fight, and he said, look, there's no problem, and he said that we get to receive an offer for that fight. Yeah. But yeah, as you say, you know, when people sort of talk about the narrative of no one wanting to fight Murtazaliev, you show you're here and ready to take that shot at the IBF title.
Bro, I'm here. Mate to fight. Mate to fight.
And what you mentioned there was interesting about the Tom and Jerry fights. And do you feel like, especially with your style, when you do fight someone aggressive, as we see with like a Shakur Stevenson against William Zepeda, that almost brings the best out of you, and you can make it entertaining even with a sort of a pro-defensive style?
Yeah, of course. I mean, some of my best performances have been against guys who come forward like that when I've been at 154. So it's it's one of them where stars make fights. If everyone's going to stand there and just trade up in the middle of the ring, A was going to be left with no brains. None of us are going to be able to talk after the end of our careers, which is not going to be very good for any of us. And B, there's not going to be that clash of stars where I know people like the sweet science of boxing, people like the Lomachenkos, people like the Muhammad Ali's, people like the people who move and do things. Not everyone's going to be in there and getting like Marvin Hagler, Sugar Ray Leonard, like Tommy Hearns and Roberto Duran have all got different styles. That's why people watched. If everyone stood there and just had a brawl, then there wouldn't be no skill involved in boxing. So of course you got to have them. I don't know where the Tom and Jerry things come from. I mean, I'm not sure whether people just really running in fights and not that. I agree. That's a big turn off.
I think that's what it is. I think it is a case of like when you've seen certain performances of guys who don't have any ambition to win.
Not sure if it's on about the William Skull and Canelo.
Yeah, that's basically that's it. That's what it is. Yeah. When you see someone like William Skull, which is the main example.
I mean, well, you can't. That means everyone's now scared to box the way they want to box because they've got to stand there in the centre of the ring. Do you know what I mean? And try and make a show. It's you can box beautifully on the back foot and still hurt people and still win the fight and still knock people out.
Yeah. How do you think when you look at Murtazaliev? How do you think you fare up against him?
I think I make him look silly. I mean, I've seen him against Jack Kokai, and that was a bad night for him at the office in that fight. So, listen, he's got 2 arms and 2 legs, exactly like me. I'm faster than him. He probably hits harder than us. He's bigger than us, but it's not about that. It's about the IQ, innit? I believe I've got everything to be able to stand him on his head, 100%.
You've got a good WBO ranking, and we'll get on to obviously the talk of Jaron Ennis. But I did want to ask you about the Xander Zayas fight. He obviously recently won the world title this weekend. You know, if you look at him with a world champion, that must be an exciting fight for yourself as well.
I should be fighting him next. Really, I should be fighting him next. He was calling me out last year, and at the time, none of us really were anywhere. But now he's got the world title. Come and fight me next. Let me fight you next. I'm the next in the ranking. So there's him, then there's me. So why not get that on? And that's a world title shot.
And another name that Eddie Hearn spoke about making an offer for yourself to fight Jaron Ennis, who's obviously recently moved up to 154. No world title, but obviously you recognise that as a big fight. I guess what can you tell us about this fight? I know I spoke to Adam Booth and he said the offer was derisory and
the offer's shit. He's done it like you've got to reply in for 24 hours or we're moving to a different opponent. And it weren't Eddie, I think it's Eddie's lawyer who said it. So it's all smoke and mirrors, and then they put it out to the media. Listen, I'll take the Jaron Ennis fight 100%. Give me the right money and the right time, I'm there. I'll fight Jaron Ennis. These fights need to be prepared for. You can't just be saying, right, 24 hours, you got this many weeks, you got to fly here, you got this much money. It doesn't work like that. You know what I mean? We're fighters as well, and I'm an established fighter. I'm not just a fighter who's like, he's somewhere in the rankings, so you can just give him that I'm an established fighter, an established name, so it doesn't work like that.
Yeah. How much confidence do you think you take from a fight against Jaron Ennis?
Yeah, I've got a horrible style. He's got a horrible style, but I don't think he's ever boxed anyone similar to himself. Do you know what I mean? So it'll be who breaks the rhythm first. So if he wants to walk us down, play that game, and I can give him a boxing lesson. Yeah,
I know you spoke about it with the Conor Ben fight. You spoke about like Eddie Hearn being a bit bitter towards you for leaving. Do you still feel that's the case, especially with his Boots Ennis fight?
I mean, I don't know why he's not answered the phone, Adam. Like, ring Adam. No, don't go through lawyers and don't put it out there in the media without us knowing. First time I knew about it.
Was you disappointed seeing that?
Well, I just first time I knew about it last night. I was like, looked on, and I was like, it's a bit mad, isn't it? I'm not sure if Adam mentioned something previously, like during the day, but I wasn't really listening. And obviously I got that, and then this morning I've come in, I was like, what's all this? And he was like, I'm not sure. I was like, this is crazy, isn't it? It's like, fight to get me about anyone even knowing anything about it. You know what I mean? And I don't know, but I'm not disappointed. I just know the way the business works. If you've got a commodity in your Eddie Hearn, you're going to try and work the best way you can for your business asset in a sense. So
I feel like that for yourself, as you say, about what it takes to get the best out of yourself. And you must feel like Jaron Ennis, who arguably people talk about him being a pound for pound spar, you must feel like that's your statement almost to a world scene, being like, look, I'm here and I'm definitely in these conversations.
For sure. I mean, my name's getting linked with them, so I must be someone who is there and thereabouts. Do you know what I mean? Well, I am someone who's there and thereabouts. There's in the rankings, there'll be updated rankings. There'll be Zayas, me, then Jaron Ennis. So for me to go straight and fight for a world title, I'd rather that all day long. But I have to fight Jaron Ennis to get there, and so be it.
Interesting stuff. Look, Josh, appreciate you taking time to speak to me. Always good to catch up with you, and yeah, I'm sure it won't be too long since we're catching up sometime.
Some smoke soon. Don't
appreciate
worry.
it. Good stuff, man. Top man. Thank you.